Hello everybody, welcome to PE Podcast. Today I'm with my partners,
Dalton Squires,
Abdul Rizzo,
and we have Gabriel DiLorenti, who will be on the phone with us later on in the show. He's unable to be with us today. We're going to be talking about a bunch of things today. First off, deviance in sport. Deviance in sport, what is it? Deviance in sport is a behavior that falls outside the norms or categories that were always to be deemed acceptable in sport. So we're going to be talking about negative deviance in sport in more specifics. A couple things we're going to be talking about today is going to be the Antonio Brown situation, as most of you may know, the Brad Marchand incident, and soccer in general. Dalton, describe Antonio Brown. What's going on with Brown right now?
Antonio Brown's a piece of work. He's has sex allegations, the helmet issue, and locker room issues with teammates and coaches. It's just not normal for players to do that in sport. Would you want your players to do that?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't even want a player like that on my team, regardless of any of his skill.
Exactly. He's a good player. It's just whether or not he wants to play for the money or to play football. But recently, he actually posted an Instagram post of apologizing. So if he can clean up his act, who knows? He might be on a roster.
Do you think he should take a season off to fix himself up so he can come back and be ready to go?
You know, maybe a season off might help him get in the right mental state, but it's really what he can do. Okay.
Sounds good. Moving on, Brad Marchand. Brad Marchand, they consider him the rat. He is a good player, and they say it's part of his game. Lucas, what are your thoughts on Brad Marchand?
I mean, like you said, it's out of the norm. Like things he does, licking people, kissing other players. I can't think of another player in the league that does stuff like that. I mean, I get he's trying to get another player's head. He's trying to get him mentally be that guy, but I mean, he's taking it too far.
Taking it too far. Do you think he's a good player at least?
Oh, I think he's top 10.
Yeah, top 10.
He's usually good.
He needs to stop with the stuff, the stupidity, just focus on his game. I mean, he's trying to get in there, and I get that. There's other ways.
How do you think he can get this together if he were to face the consequences? Because the league is just giving him a couple slaps on the wrist with the licking. They maybe slap a couple fines on him and all that. But what do you think that will give him a real wake-up call to change that?
I mean, it's gonna be hard for him because it's like a personality thing. I feel like if you see interviews, you see he's kind of just that guy to do just stupid things to get his way. But I mean, I feel like the front office of the Bruins needs to help him with that because they're the ones that are gonna have to say.
I agree with that.
Sounds good. Moving on, we're going to talk about soccer in general. Soccer can be shown negative deviance because people can deem it as a dirty sport. Abdil, can you have any takeaways to that?
honestly, what happened in the 2014 World Cup with Suarez when he was waiting the time defender Chiellini, I think that was just went over the bar with it. He stepped out of bounds with that, and and nobody should be doing that in the first place, right?
And this wasn't his first time, right?
No, it wasn't his first time. He's done before early in the season. He was playing for Liverpool. So yeah.
So what happened? The third time around, what did they do? Did they? What happened after the Chiellini incident?
After that happened, the video went viral. And after FIFA suspended him for 4 months, and then he couldn't play until he went to his new team Barcelona, and he also went to rehab, right? To get help because that's it's very rare for that to happen, right?
Another issue trending in soccer too is racism. Obviously, racism has had a big impact on soccer in the last couple of years. The multiple incidents. Can you have any takeaways of that as well? What's going on with FIFA and racism? Because they are trying to get rid of FIFA is trying to get rid of racism in football in general to make it a racism-free environment. But what's going on now? What's happening?
Honestly, people still do it just because I don't know why. It's not healthy for the sport or the people, right? And what happened with Balotelli, in Italy, people were just chanting monkey noises towards him and everything like that. After Balotelli got angry, and he just wanted to leave the game, and yeah.
Can I add?
Yeah, of course.
So Danny Alves with the banana, right?
Yeah.
That's not right. He ate the banana as a joke, but come on, the player shouldn't be doing that stuff.
It shouldn't be on the pitch. It shouldn't be said on the pitch in general. So now we're going to put Gabriel DiLorenti on the phone, and we're going to have him have some takeaways as well. So Gabriel, what do you think about this?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on the show. Antonio Brown, where do we begin? He, throughout the last few seasons, has proved to be one of the most undisciplined athletes in sports. He proves that he's a bad influence on his teammates, fans, and coaches. He has had multiple run-ins with the NFL throughout the years, starting with his locker room dispute with Big Ben while he was in Pittsburgh. This eventually led to his departure the following summer. When he was on the Raiders, he showed that he didn't change and he was still the same old AB, and he threatened his own retirement after the NFL wouldn't let him use his helmet because they deemed it unsafe. This wasn't the first issue with them, as he later got into an altercation with the Raiders GM, which led to him taking to social media to portray his displeasure with his new team, as he quoted, "Release me." A few days later, he eventually was released by the Raiders and was picked up by the Patriots, where he appeared in only one game, where he was then released by the Patriots after a sexual abuse rape allegation that came to his name. Moving on to the soccer world, one athlete in particular who has shown negative deviance has been Luis Suarez. He has had a reputation for being unclassy and racist after he bit Giorgio Chiellini in the 2014 World Cup, which wasn't his first time biting an opponent. He has also said a racial slur to Patrice Evra in the 2011 game against Liverpool and Manchester United. This resulted in a 10-match ban and a hefty fine.
Thank you, Gabriel. Okay, so like we said, that's our takeaways from all this commotion going on in the sports, negative deviance. We definitely think that sports can be a dirty world, with all these incidents going on, suspensions being handed out left, right, and center, bans, fines, everything, right? It's just, players gotta do what they gotta do. So, do you guys agree with that? Like, players gotta do what they gotta do, but they have to control themselves.
Yeah.
Especially on the world's biggest stage.
Yeah. Whenever the world's watching, like, they can't be doing dumb stuff, like, just for publicity stunts.
Kids look up to them, they can't just do stuff.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
So they gotta be able to control themselves, like a professional.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for tuning into the show. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you the next time.